Welcome back everyone, this is Bailiwick of Guernsey Shipwrecks. I'm JP Falaise and it's actually finally happened. The sun's kind of come out a little bit. It's Tuesday night and it's straight after work, and me, Matt and Paul are going to go see if we can liberate a few more scallops and see what else we can see. Some sort of sea life, fingers crossed. And it's always fingers crossed because you never know what you're going to see down there. Every dive's different, as you probably well know if you've been following the channel already. So normal process, check the engine, check everything's all good, check our fluids are fine, check the fuel, and then wait for the other divers to come down. I think Paul's just getting changed and he'll be on his way down. I'm not sure on the visibility today. It's been a while. It's been probably, well, I don't know. Let's check on my computer how many days it's been. "17 days. So 17 days I've been out of the water. That's quite a stretch for me. See if we can reset that back to 0 days again. Up it as you know.
Just need to go just off the top.
I'll run you in closer.
About where that 10 is.
Sound like you're breathing helium in.
That is.
Up near the poo pipe, or the old waste pipe.
Didn't I tell you, every dive's a helium dive now?
Yeah?
Everyone. 10 metres, 50 metres, it doesn't matter, helium.
Is that insurance based?
Yeah. Imagine the cost.
Prohibitively expensive. Slow up.
This ship will come up.
Yeah, yeah.
Where are we going? North
This
or
poop
south?
will come up. 18 metres.
What do we want to go north or south?
It's be slack, mate. Go whichever way you want.
Yeah?
Yeah. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On my first whistle. Divers ready. What are you doing? Putting your helium mix in?
Switching my nitrons off.
Oh, okay.
I don't want that on.
Okay, if it's bad, come back up. And then we'll go south about. I'll give that an 8. That was a nice dive. I don't know where the other diver's gone. He must be, there he is, out the bell. Just see him bobbing there. Dive flag up. Right, they've both been down less than, well, 6 minutes I think. And this bag's come up, so that can only mean one thing. Cannonballs. Both of them are together now, their boffs are kissing, so I know they're close on the bottom. So I'm just going to wait for them to swim off and then I'll retrieve this. Issue is, if I go too close now and their ropes are a little bit loose, I can put it through the back wheel and winch one of them to the surface, which won't be good. It's bobbing around alright, it's not losing air. Lift bag's back on the surface and back in the boat. And judging by the weight of that, I'd say it's a cannonball. I'm not going to bother opening it. But it's heavy, crusty, looks a bit like a dog poo. So that's a cannonball. Ooh, that's a nice one. Oh, that's a beast, eh?
Yeah.
Look at that. It's like a, it's like one of them African heads. with the old hair on the top. You sure that isn't a head? There's a spinal cord there.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I wonder what that is.
Can smell it.
Yeah. Swan smell. Never forgotten. Oh well. You said you were going to get a cannonball.
Well, it's the place to go.
You did actually say before you went in, give me 5 minutes, I'll send it up, and you sent it up at 6 minutes. So you're a minute late.
I had to leave the other one down there.
Oh, okay. Right, let's get ready. Let's get in my gear and get down there. Have a little look at the fishies. Welcome back to this man-made object. So we're going to take our time on this dive and have a little look at all the species we can find. Here's our first species. This is called a pelting, or commonly known as a bib. Swimming alongside it, which is very common to see together, is a poor cod. The peltings have got a smaller eye, both got overhanging jaws, and are both part of the codfish family. As a diver in the UK waters, you'll expect to see cod, haddock, pollock, safe, bib, poor cod and whiting, which are all part of the same family. Peltings can mainly be found on shipwrecks, but you will find them on other reefs and man-made structures. Commonly we call them smelly fish, because it doesn't take long before they smell once you've caught them. As you can see, the seabed around here is Merle, and there is actually loads of scallops as well, so we're going to take our time to have a look at them. This fish is a wrasse, or a labrador, very very common in reefs all over the world. There's about 600 species of these. The ones that are common to Guernsey are found in two different groups. There are two large, the ballan and the cuckoo, and three small, the corkwing, the goldsinny and the rock cook. They come in varying sizes, and as I always say, the colour of them is solely based on the location they live in, or the substrate. They aren't like other wrasse where they don't actually make nests. What they do is they clear rocks of vegetation and guard almost like a territory. I've nicknamed these places wrasse holes. We've only been down a couple of minutes, we're on to our third set of different types of fish. These are gobies, and there's loads of different types of gobies. Split into two groups again. There's larger ones and there's smaller ones. Just some of these gobies are leopard spotted gobies, Jeffrey's gobies, common gobies, sand gobies, Norway gobies, painted gobies, two spotted gobies, transparent gobies, diminutive gobies and Gilead's goby. In between this heavy sinker you can see here there's a edible crab. In Guernsey we call these shankers. As we progress along this pipe, you see all sorts of different wrasse, different colours. Let's take a more detailed look at this scallop. Commonly known as the great scallop or the king scallop. This is the largest of the scallop family we get in Guernsey, and it's got a fairly high commercial value. Here we can see one feeding. Try and get in right in close to have a little look. You can't get too close because it's got over 200 eyes. You could probably sense some there, but it's not finding me a threat at the moment. Here you can see the little frills hanging out, collecting food that's drifting past. In this location, they completely bury themselves in this mirror. They can be almost invisible. Here's one that's on the surface. See if we can get it to swim. The way in which they swim is they suck water in from the front and they expel it through the back. Next, just alongside that hinged bit on the back. They can swim probably a metre at max. They tire very quickly. We have got a good chance to get him to try and swim. Just going to put my glove right up close to the front of the shell so the eyes can see. I may even have to touch a frill. And there you go. They don't come high off the seabed and they don't move very far. But to a starfish that's trying to eat it, it's probably quite a distance. Maybe 3 or 4 minute head start. Let's go and search for some more. This looks undersized. The minimum limit for this is 100 millimeters or 10 centimeters. Richard is trying to get it increased to maybe 103 or 104. Let's turn our lights off. That will reduce this backscatter. You'll notice there's loads of little burrows underneath this pipe. Those are almost certainly lobsters. We're only in 21 metres of water and I've almost been 9 minutes. So this kind of shocked me in a way, where there's an open scallop shell. I was unsure if I foiled something trying to eat it. But then I guessed it's probably just the boys on the boat with Richard's shock scallops from this morning. He normally leaves them in a big bongo on the boat, and next people to go out on the boat dumps them over the side. Something colourful's caught my eye here. It's a small scallop. Looks like a craft Stanley knife of some sort. Probably dropped out a fishing boat by mistake. We'll put that in the bag and get rid of it. Don't want that turning into microplastics. Here's another part of the shell. Looks like something had come out to eat on that and I'd scared it off. Here we go, here's a lobster. Can you see the claws right under the back there? He's just turning. Probably a small lobster. We might not get a chance to film him unless he comes out. I think we'll carry on. Just a quick look at this, and there's so many varieties of sponges on it. Along with that I can see sea squirts and hydroids. Now I'm no expert on spotting gobies. You do actually need to have the dorsal fin up in a lot of the cases to see the colorations, but this could be for all I know, a Stevens goby, sand goby or common goby. This is a good example of how scallops are almost completely invisible. Look at this. I take my time nice and slow. He's still got his little feelies there, his little feeders. So it's actually not very common to see this. It's just the fact around here is so nice and calm. Oh, I felt it kicking in my hand. Maybe we can get this one to swim. I've never had one swim out my hand. Awesome. I love watching them. This is a large one as well, so some people say it's only the small ones that swim. This one's absolutely huge. Plenty of scallops out here in the sand. This one is just about big enough, so the width of my hand is roughly 100mm. That's how I use it. So there's no point taking them back to the surface if I know they're actually undersized. Swimming away from the pipe now, so let's get back. Try and keep my lights off for the distance shots. Try and cut down on some of that backscatter. But also you tend to have better results with the fish as well. Look at this, there's a round hole that's been dug in the floor.
That is huge. That is absolutely massive.
As you can tell, that one's absolutely massive. In Sark they grow slightly larger than in Guernsey due to the fact that they've got stricter rules on fishing and open and closed season. They tend to grow a little bit bigger over there, up to about 170mm. But in Guernsey you're doing very well if you see something around 140, 150. Got these yellow hedgehog sponges underneath the pipe. I believe this pipe is a high density plastic. And these blocks here are concrete to hold it down, because obviously it will float, given the fact it's like a high density plastic. Plenty of scallops around here. I've only got 2 minutes left and then I'm going to start heading back to the surface. That's not to do with the fact that I've been down too long, it's the fact that I would like to share some air out of this tank with another dive.
Yeah, look now.
So nice and calm here. There is a little bit of tide running to my left, but not much. Almost at complete slack water. As you can imagine, this does see a lot of tide washing back and forth over it. Here we see some segmented worms. They live in tubes, they're made from mucus and mud. And they got these little fans that come out which extract oxygen from the water, food from the water, and there's other sensory organs in there like eyes. So as soon as you move anywhere near them, they normally shoot back into their tube for safety. Pick up a couple more scallops, that's not so embarrassing when I go back to the surface, and I've only got a couple of scallops in my bag. This pipe is really long. I've been swimming along it for probably 15 minutes now and I'm still nowhere near the end. The seabed, like I say, it's mostly merle. There's a little bit of soft sand underneath, but it's relatively clean, hence why we're getting these scallops here. Again, there's another lady crab. These are very abundant. They're called velvet swimming crabs. They've got very small brownish hair on them which gives them a velvety texture. Or they're sometimes called a devil crab because they are very feisty. Out of all the crabs, if you're going to get nipped, it's going to be one of these. Plenty of times I've had my toes nipped by these. As a child down the beach, or even ormering. There's so many small fish that are using this structure for a little bit of protection. There's loads of little nooks and crannies they can hide in. It makes you wonder why they put a pipe straight through a mill bed, but I think, and this is my own opinion, that it's actually done a little bit more good than bad. Here you can see a scallop that's opened right up. The orange bit inside is the frill, and also you can see the orange part, which is the roe, and the white part which is joined to it, called the milt. So the milt is the semen that's normally found in mollusks. They're hermaphrodites. They can breed on their own, but they do actually like to spawn at the same time and crossbreed with other scallops. Checking the air. We have 160 bar. I'm looking to finish this dive with 120 bar left. Can't believe how clean and white the scallops are up here. And the good thing is there's loads of smalls as well. So we try to not take all the scallops out of one area. There's a lobster to the left here. I didn't actually notice that on the dive. We are getting very close to our 2 minutes that I allowed before we went up. And that was a guesstimate in my own head of how long I normally stay down and how much air I would have been using up. So I've used up about 5 bar since we last looked. Allowing 20 bar to return to the surface. Oh, what's that? Did you see that? There was like a really gold reflective thing inside there, some sort of clam. As soon as you went next to it, there's 2 separate ones, they closed up. That's pretty cool. So I'm just going to swim away from the pipe now, and then I'm going to start progressing back to the surface. Now I've never seen the end of this pipe, and I'm actually worried to go to the end of the pipe, because pipes like this can have big fans or big pumps that push water out, and could be dangerous, so I stay well away. This is a view from above. Whoa, there's a huge wrasse there.
Let's measure it.
Some big ones there. Huge. Some babies on it there, look. Back over the side. Even some of these others are beasts as well. $130. Nah, it's actually a 145. Yeah, 145, that one. Not as big as I thought, but still good enough. Is that one big enough? I don't reckon that one's big enough. Let's get the proper gauge on it. Nah, not big enough. Back it goes. What's that?
100 mil.
Oh, that's regulation then. Check that one.
Size?
Yeah, oh well, they're all in size then. So I got a grand total of 10 plus that one, 11, 12. Oh, not bad. Now I want to go for the big boys, in numbers anyway.